The camera pans across the familiar set. Polished wooden benches, the American flag standing proudly in the corner, and the seal of the court mounted high on the wall. The bailiff, Bird, stands near the judge's bench, holding a manila folder filled with the case documents. The audience murmurs softly as the doors behind the plaintiff's table swing open. "Order! All rise," Bird says. Judge Judith Scheindlin enters briskly, her robe flowing, her expression sharp, as always. She takes her seat and gives Bird a small nod. "Be seated." Bird calls out, "Your Honor, this is case number 21-035. Samantha Green versus Lila Porter. The parties have been sworn in." Judge Judy looks over her glasses at the two women standing in front of her courtroom. On the left is Samantha Green, 29, neatly dressed, her brown hair tied back in a ponytail. She clutches a folder filled with receipts. On the right stands Lila Porter, 27, wearing oversized sunglasses on her head and a bright neon blazer, the sort of outfit that practically announces drama. Judge Judy: "Ms. Green, you're suing Ms. Porter for $2,200. $1, $500 for a security deposit, and $700 for unpaid utilities. Is that correct?" Samantha: "Yes, Your Honor." Judge Judy: "Ms. Porter says she owes nothing. Let's see who's right." The battle begins. Judge Judy starts with her usual directness. Judge Judy: "Ms. Green, tell me how you two know each other." Samantha: "We were roommates, Your Honor. We rented a 2-bedroom apartment last year. We signed the lease together, split the rent evenly." Judge Judy: "How long did you live together?" Samantha: 10 months. Judge Judy: "What happened?" Samantha takes a breath. "She moved out in the middle of the night," she says, pointing at Lila, "without notice, without paying her half of the utilities. And she took half the furniture that we bought together." Judge Judy raises an eyebrow. "Middle of the night? What is she? Cinderella fleeing the ball?" The audience chuckles. Then Judge Judy turns to the defendant. Judge Judy: "Ms. Porter, did you move out in the middle of the night?" Lila: "Well, technically, yes, but I had a good reason, Your Honor." Judge Judy leans forward. "I love good reasons. Go ahead." Lila: "Samantha wasn't respecting my space. She was always nagging me. Clean the dishes. Take out the trash. Don't leave candles burning while you're out of the house." Judge Judy interrupts, her eyes narrowing. "You left candles burning while you weren't home?" Lila: "Only sometimes, like twice, or maybe 5 times. But nothing happened." Judge Judy shakes her head. "Not yet. That's how apartments burn down." Judge Judy turns back to Samantha. Judge Judy: "Let's start with the security deposit. Who paid it?" Samantha: "I paid it in full when we signed the lease. Lila said she'd pay me back her half later." Judge Judy: "Did she?" Samantha: "No." Judge Judy: "Ms. Porter." Lila: "Your Honor, I intended to pay her back, but I had some financial setbacks." Judge Judy taps her pen on the desk. "Tell me what financial setbacks means." Lila: "My Instagram business wasn't taking off yet. I needed ring lights, backdrops, props. Those aren't cheap." Judge Judy pauses. "So your priority was ring lights, not rent?" Lila: "Well, yes." Judge Judy rolls her eyes. Judge Judy: "Now the utilities. Ms. Green says you owe $700. Lila: "Your Honor, I barely used anything. She's obsessed with air conditioning. Obsessed. She likes it so cold that penguins could survive in our living room." Samantha sighs. Samantha: "We live in Florida, Your Honor. It's hot." Lila: "Not that hot. She kept it at 67 degrees. Judge Judy turns to Samantha. "Is that true?" Samantha: "Yes, Your Honor." Judge Judy shrugs. "Reasonable. Continue." Samantha hands Bird the utility bills. Bird delivers them to Judge Judy. Judge Judy: "I see your name is on the utility account. Ms. Porter's is not." Samantha: "Because she said she didn't have good enough credit to be on it." Judge Judy turns slowly to Lila. Judge Judy? Is that true? Lila nods sheepishly. I mean, yes, but that doesn't mean I owe the money. Judge Judy's eyebrows jump up as if they've been pulled on strings. Actually, that's precisely what it means. Judge Judy. Now, tell me about the furniture. Samantha pulls out photos of the apartment. Samantha. We bought a couch, coffee table, and TV stand together when we moved in. I have the receipts. She took the coffee table and the TV stand when she left. Judge Judy. Ms. Porter. Lila. I paid for those. Judge Judy. Receipts. Lila hesitates. Lila. I paid in cash. Judge Judy raises a hand. Stop. That's the universal excuse of someone who has no evidence. You didn't pay cash. You paid zero. Judge Judy. Let's return to your midnight move out. Why did you leave so suddenly? Lila takes a dramatic breath. Because I found out she was recording me. The courtroom gasps. Samantha's eyes widen. Samantha. That's not true. Judge Judy quiets the room with her hand. Judge Judy. Explain. Lila. I found a camera on the bookshelf facing the living room. A real camera. With a red blink-Y light. Samantha throws her hands up. Samantha. It wasn't a camera. It was a smart home sensor for motion detection. It connects to my phone for security. Judge Judy narrows her eyes. Ms. Porter, did you find a camera or a sensor? Lila folds her arms. It looked like a camera. Judge Judy. A lot of things look like other things. That doesn't magically make them something else. Judge Judy flips through papers, then glances at Lila. Judge Judy. You say you left because you felt unsafe, but you didn't call the police, didn't alert the landlord, didn't even send a text to Ms. Green explaining you were moving. Instead, you loaded your things into a car and vanished. Why? Lila shifts in her heels. Lila. Because I had an early morning photo shoot the next day and didn't want drama. Judge Judy stares at her. You left your home because you had a photo shoot? Lila. Yes. Judge Judy closes her folder slowly. Ms. Porter, I've heard some foolish things in my courtroom over the last 30 years, but this may be top 10. The audience erupts in laughter. Samantha produces a document. Samantha. Your Honor. This is a letter from the landlord stating that Lila left the apartment damaged. Judge Judy frowns. Judge Judy. Damaged how? Samantha. She painted her room neon pink. With glitter. Judge Judy's head snaps toward Lila. Judge Judy. Did you paint your room neon pink with glitter? Lila shrugs. It was for my brand aesthetic. Judge Judy slams her hand on the desk. You don't get to have an aesthetic in a rental. Judge Judy turns to Lila, pointing her pen like a dagger. Judge Judy. Ms. Porter, you signed a lease. You promised to pay half the deposit and half the utilities. You didn't. You left early without notice. You took furniture you didn't pay for. You left the apartment damaged. And your justification for all of this is that you have an aesthetic. Lila opens her mouth. Judge Judy. Don't answer. There is no answer that will make you sound less ridiculous. She turns to Samantha. Judge Judy. You paid the deposit. She owes you half. That's $750. She owes utilities. $700. Furniture value half of what you paid. $500. Total. $1,950. Lila shakes her head. Lila. But Your Honor. Judge Judy raises a single finger. Shoo. The courtroom becomes silent. Judge Judy folds her hands. Judge Judy. My ruling is for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,950. She bangs her gavel. That's all. Parties are excused. Lila huffs dramatically, tossing her hair, while Samantha walks out relieved. Bird nods to the camera. Don't leave candles burning, he mutters. Outside the courtroom, the familiar post-verdict interviews begin. Samantha's interview. I'm just glad it's over. I knew I was in the right. I just wanted what I was owed. And honestly, I hope Lila finds a place where she can paint things neon pink without ruining someone's lease. Lila's interview. That judge just didn't get my vibe. I'll pay the judgment, but whatever. I'm focusing on my brand. And I'm buying my own furniture from now on. The camera fades out. Another case closed in the iconic world of Judge Judy, where truth, common sense, and no-nonsense justice always win.